Hey folks, it's Dave here, and tonight I am playing some wrestling. Ultra quick wrestling by Downey Games, to be more precise. And I just started playing this tonight, and boy, this is actually more fun than I thought it would be. It really is. I could see how you could set up a whole federation and wrestle to your heart's content and come up with different winners. I really can. I can see how this could be fun. So let me tell you a little bit about this. Now, first things first, again, my disclaimer. I may or may not be playing this correctly. This is not meant as a tutorial for the game. I may make mistakes during this video. But all that being said, I think you'll get an idea how this game is played. And I'm playing this my own way so I can have fun. So all that's out of the way. Let's get to the match. So the first thing you need to do is pick two wrestlers. One has to be the face, one has to be the heel. And this game comes with a bunch of wrestlers. I got some of my favorites in here. So you can see the sheet here. I don't know if you can see that, but that's some of the wrestlers here. And I think you get 5 or 6 sheets of this, maybe more. You get quite a few wrestlers on here to choose from. And you don't even really need to cut out the cards if you don't want. As long as you have them handy, you can see what's going on here. On each card, they have an overall number, okay? Then they have some modifications like size, speed, strength, savvy, cheating, and technical. And that'll add or subtract to their overall score when you roll the dice and check some of the modifications here. Also, depending on the match, they have different skill levels for each match. So you have a cage match, which we're going to have tonight. They have an object match, a brawl, a ladder, and a table match, and also tag team. Okay, so I haven't done any of those yet, but I'm going to do some normal matches tonight. A cage match. We have the Intercontinental title on the line between Snooker and Iron Mike Sharp. And then the WWF, yes, WWF, because I'm old, title on the line with Steve Stone Cold Austin and Ivan Koloff. Okay, he's going to challenge him tonight. The first thing you need to do is pick a face and a heel, and on each card it tells you what they are. However, if you're playing like a federation or something, at some point you might have two wrestlers that face off that are both heels or both faces. You determine who is who, okay? Because somebody does have to be the heel in the match, and somebody has to be the face in the match, okay? So again, you could just, this is all fun. Whatever you want to do, make it. Even the directions say whoever you want. It's really not that big of a deal. But because there's different columns for heels and faces, it's almost like a home and away. You have to determine that. So you have the overall number, and depending on the match, that might change right off the bat. So let's just say you're doing a ladder match. Somebody might add 10 or 20 to the overall score for the ladder match, and somebody else might not. So that'll give you your match modification here. Okay, I'm sorry, that'll give you your overall number to start with. Your match modification, what you need to do is roll the dice. It's a match modifier, actually, okay? And that's a 1 to 10 dice roll, and that tells you to check for certain things. It might check for size, strength, speed, technical, or it might just be a normal match. It might not add anything. So there's a little chart here from 0 to 9 that you would maybe add or subtract for each person here, okay? Because you would check the modifier, then you check the card, and that would tell you what to do. That would give you your adjusted number, okay? Then you go to the pre-match dice roll. The pre-match dice roll indicates either heel or face. Then you would roll on a 1 to 100, and then on this chart here, it would say pre-match event chart, face or heel, and then it would tell you what happened. And sometimes the match might even end right there. Okay, there's a lot of stuff on here. It's really fun. But let's just say we do this one here. The fans hate the gimmick. -50 overall. So the face comes in. He's dressed kind of funky. They don't like it. So he would lose 50 points. So here in the pre-match, you would put that it was the face. The event would be fans not happy. The adjustment is -50, and then you would have your final score. And this guy would not be adjusted at that point. So just to recap, you have your overall score that's on the card. If you're having a special match, you would add any pluses or minus on the card to the overall. You roll the match modifier dice, and that tells you if you're going to be adding anything or subtracting anything. You have your adjusted score. You roll for the pre-match. Well, like we did, we find out what happened in the pre-match, any final adjustments, then you get your final score. So each wrestler will have a final score, then you have a differential. Somebody's going to be better than the other, most likely. And then from there, you roll the dice to see who wins. Now, depending on what kind of match you have, again, this is wrestling, you may win, you may not. Okay, so you might get a clean pin, you might get a DQ, or you might have to go to unusual results, and you might even lose the match. So even if you do win the dice roll, there's no guarantee you're going to win. So it's got a lot of variety. It really does. So let's get into this, and I'll show you what I've learned tonight. And again, I might be playing this wrong, but I'm playing to have fun, and so that's what I'm here for. So let's kick things off. So it's the Big Boss Man and Abdullah the Butcher, and Big Boss Man is the face, and he comes into the ring, and the crowd's all happy, and they're cheering him. Abdullah the Butcher gets booed, and he's not happy. So let's get going here. All right. So it's going to be a pay-per-view match. This is a pay-per-view match, okay? You can have a TV taping or a pay-per-view match. We're going to have a pay-per-view match, okay? We got 4 matches tonight, and these are on TV. So there's going to be no modifications off the bat because it's just a standard match. So now we're going to roll the match modifier. That's going to be the red dice, a 4. A 4 is savvy. Savvy, okay? So what we need to do is take a look at the match modifier, which is savvy, and we're going to go to Big Boss Man. Big Boss Man, his savvy is 10, so we're going to add 10 to the Big Boss Man. Abdullah the Butcher, his savvy is 25. Okay, so right off the bat, it's a nice advantage for Abdullah the Butcher. So 2160 for Big Boss, and 25 will get us up to 2300 for Abdullah the Butcher. Now let's check the pre-match roll. We're going to go white dice. That's a 3. Pre-match, it goes to the heel. So the pre-match is heel. So let's see what the pre-match dice roll says. So this is a pretty big chart here. So this is the heel pre-match event chart. And we're going to roll. And the other thing is, too, is sometimes it'll say something like wrestler's injured, out for a month or whatever it is, and they say if you don't want to do that, you can ignore it. So I use this as suggestions because I played a couple sample matches tonight, and I thought it was really kind of silly what they gave me, so I rolled again. And again, I don't care who wins, so it's not like I'm cheating, but it's just the idea that something come up here. I was like, that's kind of silly. So let's see what it says on the heel. So the heel wins at a 21. Okay, 21 is just a normal match, so there's no more adjustments after that. Okay, so the event was nothing. It was normal. Guys entered the ring. Everybody's happy, so there's no adjustment. So our final score, okay, for the Big Boss Man remains at 2160. And over here, it's 2300. So the differential now, if my math is correct, it would be 140. So we would add 140 to 160. That gives us 2300. So our differential is 140. So now, looking at the result chart, okay, 150 or less, which is what we're at, so it's a close match. The highest rated winner, the highest rated wrestler wins at 1-51. 1-51, and he is in control. So let's roll the dice here. 1-51 for Abdullah the Butcher. It's a 90. So the advantage goes to Big Boss Man. Big Boss Man is rallying. Okay, but we still have to check the pay-per-view win for the face to see what happens. Big Boss Man going for the pin, trying to put Abdullah Butcher away to the delight of the crowd. Here comes the roll of the dice. A 15. And that's a clean pinfall with the finisher. So Big Boss Man, the hard time slam, he goes down, and Big Boss Man gets the 1, 2, 3. We have our winner. So Big Boss Man takes care of Abdullah the Butcher, and that was a clean pin. So we have our first winner of the night. It is Big Boss Man, and that's a clean pin after the finisher. So let's go to our next match. No, they're bringing out the cage, so it's going to be Shawn Michaels and Sergeant Slaughter. So let's look at Shawn Michaels' card. For a cage match, he gets plus 25. So right off the bat, 1890 turns into 1915, if I did my math correctly. Sergeant Slaughter in the cage, he gets 20. So he's going to be 1920. So the match is pretty tight right now because Shawn Michaels picked up 25 on that. So let's check the match modifier, our first dice roll. Okay, oh, hang on a sec. They're coming into the ring. So the match modifier, we roll the dice. It's a 6. We look, it's normal. So the match modifier is normal, so there's no adjustments. So we're just going to keep it at 1915 and 1920. These two competitors are about as even as they come here as they go into the cage. So the pre-match is an 8. The pre-match is the face. So let's check the face pre-match chart and see what we get. A 49. Fans like your new catchphrase, +1 heat level. Okay, so it went to the face. Okay, and the 49 is the fans like you. Fans like your new catchphrase. Okay, so the adjustment. Now, what this says here is +1 heat level. The heat level is 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. So if you had a whole bunch of wrestlers, you know, they would go up and down levels in your federation, let's say. And it says each time they go up a level, you add 30 to the overall score. So what I do is kind of a house rule, and this may or not be correct in a game like this, but because it said add 30, if you're playing in a federation, I'm going to add 30 tonight. So I'm going to give Shawn Michaels 30 points here because the fans like my catchphrase. Okay, so that's what I did with the heat thing. And there's all kinds of modifications you can make in this. You really can. There's actually a whole different supplemental chart you can jump on to and check things out. But when it said that you go up a heat level, it says you get 30 extra points, so I'm going to put it into the match here. So our final result is 1945 for Shawn Michaels and 1920. So with the modifiers, Shawn Michaels actually comes out 25 ahead. Now that's still a very, very tight match. So if we look at the result shot here in the cage, it's going to be 1 to 51 for Shawn Michaels. So Shawn Michaels in the cage with Sergeant Slaughter, the Heartbreak Kid, trying to get it done. We roll the dice, 88, and 88 goes to the lower rating person. So Sergeant Slaughter has a chance to put him away in the cage, but we need to roll now on the heel cage win chart. Let's see what it says. We're going to roll the dice. It's a 43, and it's a clean escape out of the cage. So Slaughter is the winner with a clean escape out of the cage. So Shawn Michaels laying there bloodied in the ring, and our winner is going to be Sergeant Slaughter. And he gives the fan a big salute on the way out, and we have our winner. So now the Intercontinental title is on the line between Jimmy Snuka and Iron Mike Sharpe. I'm just going to say Iron Mike Sharpe is the current holder of the belt, so in case something happens, it's going to be Iron Mike Sharpe hanging on to the belt. So let's see where we are here. So I got Iron Mike Sharpe, and I got Jimmy Snuka on this one right here. So here we go here. So Iron Mike Sharpe and Jimmy Snuka, Intercontinental title match, just a regular match. So let's check the match modifier. That's our first roll. So let's roll our dice. The title is on the line. A 6. A 6 is a normal match, so there's no modification. So it's going to keep it at 1450 and 900 for Iron Mike Sharpe. Let's check the pre-match is a 5. So that's going to be on the heel. So let's roll the dice for Iron Mike Sharpe and see what happens to Iron Mike Sharpe. 9. Oh boy, he attacks the ring announcer before the match, +1 heat level. So remember what I said about the heat level? Attack announcer. Add 1. Add 1. Heat. Oh, actually, add 1. I'll just go 1 heat. So remember that the heat was 30, so I like to add 30 if they have a heat level. So he was attack the announcer, so for the heel, that's a good thing. So on a 9, he comes in and attacks poor JR or whoever's doing the announcing back then, and he beats up the guy, and he gets 30. So let's take a look at our final results. So really no modifications for Snooker, the good guy. And Iron Mike Sharp comes in now with 930. So now we get a pretty good size differential here. So let's check this out. So it looks like it's going to be, I might have to do this on the calculator. No, I should be able to figure this out. So 450 and 70. It'd be 520. So it looks like it's 520 if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so yeah, 520. Hopefully I did that right. So 520 is a pretty good amount. So that's going to change the result chart. So 520 is a 1 to 65 for the highest rater, which is Snooker. So Snooker has a 1 to 65, so 65% chance to win. So let's roll our dice, shall we? So players, the Intercontinental title's on the line. They come to the ring, Snooker and Iron Mike Sharp battling out to see who's going to take the belt. We roll the dice. Again, it's 1 to 65 for Snooker. And it's a 61. Oh, he's hanging on. He's pounding away on Iron Mike Sharp. He's going to try to put him away here. So let's roll the dice now on the pay-per-view win chart. So Snooker has Iron Mike Sharp in trouble. Let's roll the dice. 48. Snooker. He goes Superfly Leap. Crushes him. Hits him down. 1, 2, 3. And that'll do it. Snooker with the pin after the finishing move. So Snooker with the win. And he gets that on a clean pin after coming down. So Jimmy Snooker takes the Intercontinental title away from Iron Mike Sharp. And so now we go to our featured match of the night. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he is taking on Ivan Koloff. Let me just find Ivan. Where is I thought I had Ivan out here. Hang on one sec. I gotta find Ivan. I had this ready to go too. Stupid Dave. Where the heck is Ivan Koloff? Is he underneath me somewhere? Hang on one second. So what do they say? They're going home. They're going home. Ivan Koloff nearly left the building. He had to be talked back into coming. He thinks Stone Cold Austin there is going to be cheating, but he's going to come back in. So Koloff comes back into the arena, and he will continue the match. So let's take a look at what we got now. So it's Stone Cold Steve Austin and Ivan Koloff as we go for the WWF title. Let's roll the dice here. A 7 on the match modifier is technical. So let's check the technical. So Stone Cold on technical is minus 25. Oh boy, so it's a minus 25. Excuse me, so now he's at 21.25. And Ivan Koloff on technical, he's nothing. He's 0. So he will remain at 12.75. The pre-match, we rolled a 0. And we're going to roll on the face. So let's check on Stone Cold's pre-match event chart for the face. A 58. Oh boy. Opponent sneak attack fails. Minus 200 for the heel. Oh, that didn't work out. So Koloff tried to sneak out of the building. And he tried to attack Stone Cold Austin, and he ran into the turnbuckle. And he's injured. So minus 200 opponent. So if we do a minus 200, he's going to be in a heap of trouble. He's only 1075, and Stone Cold is 2125, it looks like. So the differential in that, oh boy, that's like 1,000, isn't it? So that's 1,050? 1,050. So there's a differential. That's a huge differential. Wow. So Koloff tries to cheat and attack Stone Cold, and that backfired, and he's in a heap of trouble. Let's get going. So Stone Cold, a heavy favorite, and here Koloff is injured. He didn't even want to fight this match, but he's going to go at it with the champion. So 1050 now. If a differential is, wow, 1-80. So there's an 80% chance Stone Cold's going to win. So you never know. Stone Cold trying to defend the title from Ivan Koloff, the Russian. I think he's the Russian Bear, wasn't he? Let's see what we can do here. He's beating up on the Russian. A 78. Whoo, hoo, hoo, hoo. What do you say, 1-80? Oh, Stone Cold is exhausted, but he managed to drop the Russian to the ground. We're going to roll off the face pay-per-view win column. It's a 31. Stone Cold drops the, it says $1 Million Dream, but I think it's the stunner. And Austin drops the stunner on him and gets the win, and he will retain the title. So that is a clean pin after finishing move. And there we have it, folks. So that's a little look at Ultra Quick Wrestling. I think this would be more fun if you had a league going and you could set up matches and you could see players climb the ladder and you could see, faces get popular and heels get popular, and you could set up your own, title matches and have all kinds of crazy stuff and tag teams and a whole bit. I could see how this would be really fun, because I normally I would like a play-by-play or a blow-by-blow wrestling type of game. This is not bad. This is not bad. It gets you a quick result, but you feel like you're part of the match. And, boy, there's a lot of variety here with all these things here, really. I mean, the match is never over until you read the last line of text. So, anyway, so just to recap, Big Boss Man, slight underdog, takes out Abdullah the Butcher with a clean pin. In the cage, Sergeant Slaughter slips out of the cage and defeats Shawn Michaels. Jimmy Snuka takes away the Intercontinental title belt from Iron Mike Sharp with a clean pin after the super fly off the top rope. And Steve Stone Cold Austin barely beats him. Again, he had a 1-80 and he rolled a 78, so it was a tough match. But Ivan Koloff kind of hurt himself before the match trying that sneak attack that didn't work. And so that worked in Stone Cold's favor, and he got the pin after the stunner. So I believe that's how you play the game. If it's not how you play the game, that's fine, because this was a lot of fun how I played it tonight. So anyway, I'm Dave. Hope you enjoyed your time at the ring. And until next time.